Hey there, Arturo. So welcome to your next essay correction. I'm just going to jump straight in and get going. So as usual, I will change your essay into a higher scoring version of itself. Now sometimes that just means changing the grammar, sometimes that means making sentences more precise, sometimes it means fleshing out ideas a little more, but it depends entirely on what you have already put. So this should be there have been, because it's changes. There have been significant changes in human history since the advent of digitalization. Okay, but what does this sentence actually add to the essay? This seems to say the same thing as this. So let's just use one of these background sentences. Personally, I don't like using background sentences at all, but if we're going to use one, let it just be one and not the same one over again. We don't need to use these question marks in our introduction. Remember that technology cannot adapt itself, it must be adapted. So we've already said this as well. I like that general sentence. Like, this is kinda, it doesn't really add much. Again, this sentence, and this sentence all kinda say the same thing. Really here, we need an explanation of why. Why should they be tailored to use for the welfare of humanity? In answer to the question, stating that they should is one thing, but explaining why they should is required. Because we just continually say over and over again here that devices should be tailored to people, but we say it 3 times. This could be a semicolon. But this is an example of technology already being adapted to our needs. This is a question of what should happen, not about what's happened in the past. Why should technology be adapted to our needs? You've already really provided the explanation up here. So if we just said something along the lines of We could say how mobile phones have Oh, you've already spoken about this down here. My point being that in this paragraph we need to talk about what should happen and not what has already happened. Also, the topic sentence, the first sentence, can be general, but the next sentence needs to specifically explain your point. Then the next sentence needs to be an example which supports your statement, and then an explanation of how it relates back to the question. Also, using this as a topic sentence, technology should be used to stimulate minds, is not quite accurate, because this is asked, the first question, should humans adapt to technology, should be covered here. The next question is technology making us intellectually weaker or more intelligent? So this is talking about what's happening now. This is the future, this is now. That's where I live. Less capable of retaining information than it was 40 years ago. In addition, it was found that the hippocampus, part of the brain responsible for controlling memory, is shrinking with time. This is a direct result of an understimulated memory. Therefore, the misuse of technology can weaken mental capacities. So this is a good paragraph. This one does need to be more fully developed, though, about the reasons why people should adapt to technology. I would say detrimental rather than noxious. Okay. So yeah, the big problem here was really this paragraph. Otherwise, you did mostly understand the topic, but when a question begins with the word should, it's asking you what ought to happen. What do you think should happen in the future? But let's have a look at your graph description. Expected tourists. We're already doing thousands of people, so we don't need to state what the units are given in. And we don't know if these people are Mexican citizens. Excuse me. We don't know if these people are Mexican citizens. We only know that they're flying from Mexico. So we could say a large number of people from Mexico are expected to travel to Madrid. There's more than 60,000. So if we just change this to Madrid and get rid of this, well, we don't need to add any insight. In fact, this will harm our score. If it's not in the graph, don't say it. We don't add any opinion here, no insight, no analysis other than of objectively what is in the graph. And that includes saying whether things are interesting or not. What I would do as well is put this here. Again, visitors from Canada or tourists from Canada and people flying from America. There are loads of ways we can say it, but we just really shouldn't refer to their nationality. Again, and we separate thousands of units with a comma. Again, nothing from your brain. Tourists from Canada. Tourists from the USA. We can't talk about their preferences. And again, be objective. Where are they visiting? Paris. So, as you can see, it's about making it boring. We don't want to add anything from our own brain, no subjective information, no opinion. It's all about just describing the graph and comparing things and analysing trends. But we don't want to know what's surprising, we don't want to know what's interesting, we don't want any literary references, we don't want any imagery, and we don't want any metaphor. This is about numbers and analysis. Let's be objective. So Arturo, I'll send these over to you now and I'll look forward to your next pieces. Have a great day and goodbye for now. Oh, actually wait, don't forget as well that you're supposed to be sending me your corrected essays and error lists as part of the course with every submission. But I look forward to your next pieces. Have a great day and goodbye for now.